What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a showcase of the brand new character added to Marvel Contest of Champions, Franken-Castle. I think Frank is pretty cool. I think he is going to shine in short form to medium form content. He's got the type of ramp up where you're going to get your effects ramped up to their maximum capacity. You're going to expel all of that ramp up during your special one for like one or two special ones, and then you're going to need to restart the process, building back up to your special two to ramp up Mr. Franken-Castle. So Frank has a couple of core abilities that would take kind of a long time to explain in this video, so I'm going to recommend checking out the deep dive if you really want to get an in-depth look at all that is Franken-Castle. But in the meantime, I'll try to do an abridged version of the Franken-Castle rotation. So Franken-Castle has these incinerates that he applies on his heavy attack and his special 2. They max out at 12. You can apply 4 from your heavy attack and 8 from your special 2. The more incinerates you have on the opponent, the more burst damage you'll deal on your special 1. Additionally, Franken-Castle can go unstoppable, and anytime he dashes back, throws a heavy attack, or blocks the final hit of the opponent's special attacks, he will immediately start to trigger his idle walk animation, which can close the gap for spacing situations and also just keeps you on the aggressive side, walking up to the opponent constantly. Every time you do this, you will go unstoppable. Additionally, Franken-Castle builds up Berserker passives with his combo meter and on individual hits of his special 1 and special 2. They max out at 6. While you are unstoppable, Berserker increases your attack rating. So the goal is to throw a special 2 and then throw a special 1 while you are unstoppable, and while you have as many Berserk passives plus incinerates as possible. I will show that off in this clip here. Perfect example of that right now. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit. As you can see, I'm throwing heavy attacks and I'm immediately walking up. I also get a rage debuff every time I'm struck, either while unstoppable or while not. Rage allows me to not only heal from willpower, but also it allows me to convert more of my health into adrenaline. I believe it gives me 10% combat adrenaline. So what that means for Frank is if you get hit or you take a blocked hit, you're going to convert more of your health into adrenaline from those hits. So now I'm going in for a full combo here. I have my 6 Berserkers. I dash back. I trigger my Unstoppable. I throw my special 1. And I-Bomb bites the dust. So that was a short form content I-Bomb in 38 seconds there. Special 2, special 1. Frank definitely has the range to go for a bit of a higher health version of I-Bomb or any Science Defender for that matter. I recommend checking out the deep dive, not only to get a better understanding of how his kit works, but to check out the High Evolutionary matchup, because that is one of his best matchups. I would show off the High Evolutionary fight, but I don't have access to that on the CCP map, but I did fight him in the deep dive with Franken-Castle, so I highly recommend checking that out, because that's one of the best matchups for Franken-Castle. He counters a lot of the things the High Evolutionary brings to the table, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Speaking of auto block characters, let's also check out MODOK. So MODOK, High Evolutionary, kind of the targets here for Franken-Castle. Champions that have auto block, and of course they're in the science class. I'm going for those heavy attacks to place my incinerates, and then I am blocking the special 2. The hit into block allows me to get a crush passive, so I'm bypassing MODOK's auto block, as you just saw. Now the crush passive is on cooldown for the meantime, but it will come back. But by the time this fight ends, I'm not going to have to worry about getting the crush back. Frank has very consistent access to knockdowns. I'm going in for my special 2 here while unstoppable. That crush passive is active during my special 2, so MODOK cannot block. Go for a little combo there, get a little hit, that's totally fine. Got the rage debuff healing me up, and every single hit of that burst damage is 50,000 damage, so pretty solid stuff there. That was, again, 38 seconds. Franken-Castle, pretty consistent for short form content. 38 seconds there for MODOK. Took a little bit of extra chip damage, so in a fight where you're not getting like slammed in the face by a medium attack when you're not expecting it, you should be finishing fights at relatively close to, if not 100% health. You don't need to take the hit for the rage debuff. It's nice to have, but it is not 100% necessary. It is just there like for your benefit, but you don't need to be tanking hits for it. So now let's go look at a bigger version of I-Bomb. At least I believe this is a bigger version of I-Bomb here that I end up fighting. We're going to do sort of the same loop here. I get a very lucky light attack into my unstoppable, so I get the rage. The rage is healing me to 100% health, taking a little bit of chip damage from I-Bomb's special 2, but it's no big deal. I dash back to then trigger my Idle Walk and my Unstoppable. Here's my special 2, while unstoppable, while granting myself those Berserks. Each of the 4 beginning hits of the special 2 grants me a Berserk passive, and every time I cross 15 in my combo, I also get one. So, right away, this is the bigger version of I-Bomb, and he's almost dead. The Incinerates are dealing around 6,000 damage per second, and that special one alone basically took his health down to 20% health. I'm going for one more special one, and it is overkill. The additional special one is overkill. But I want to mention that looking at the duration left on the Incinerates, by the time I were to throw this special one, the Incinerates have like 25% duration left. So that's kind of what I meant at the beginning of the video, that Frank has sort of an engine that runs out and then you need to reset. So once you throw that second special one, chances are you're going to need to build back up to your special 2, weaving in heavy attacks throughout the process of building up to your special 2 to get your Incinerates back up and then to re-ramp. So Frank, definitely viable for short to medium form content. He's very consistent in that regard. I believe this fight was 700,000 health or 650, something around that margin. And he took that out in 50 seconds. So 12 more seconds for, 300,000 more health. That makes roughly, sense when you think about it. The short form I-Bomb was like 450,000. That was 38 seconds. The medium form I-Bomb is like 700,000 health, and that's 50 seconds. All you're doing is going for like one more combo and one more special one, and you've already seen that the special one burst damage with the max amount of Incinerates while you're in the Berserk. Very important that you're throwing your special one while you're unstoppable with the Berserk passive. So there's a little bit of a finesse involved in playing Frank well, but he's not super duper complicated. Once you get into a rhythm, he's very consistent and you can flow with him pretty nicely. It's solid. 50 seconds for 700,000 health. Solid stuff. So the last fight here will be a short form leader. Again, I would have shown off High Evolutionary, but he's not on the map currently, so I can't do that. But I thought this lineup of Science Defenders would be appropriate for him. I get hit by the final hit of Leader Special 1 into block to trigger my Unstoppable. I go for my Heavy charge. If I charge my Heavy, I pause the Unstoppable passive, and then once I throw my Heavy, whether I land it or I don't, the Unstoppable will go away. So now I've got the 4 Incinerates, I've got my Special 2 with my Berserk passives. That Special 2 deals quite a bit of damage with the Berserk passives, and my basics are dealing 21,000 damage on a medium crit. That's solid stuff. I go in for my Special 1 here, and all it takes is the first hit of burst damage, and that's so much overkill. He really has just super great range, especially if you can like throw that Special 2 while you're unstoppable to get the max benefit from the Berserk passives, and also the Incinerate damage itself is going to go up because your attack rating is being increased, so the Incinerates themselves will deal more damage. So not only are you dealing consistent Incinerate damage, 6,000 damage per second at the max amount of Incinerates, but your basic attacks are dealing pretty solid damage, and your Special 1, you can weave in at least 2 Special 1s. If the AI is really working with you, you can probably get a third one, but it might be tight. 2 is definitely safe, and 1 is guaranteed. You're going to deal solid damage, and for short form content, Frank is going to do very, very well. So, thank you so much for watching this video on Franken-Castle. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun playing with Frank, and I'm excited to see content being made with him in the future, because I think people are going to really enjoy using him. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also hit that like button if you have not already. I would greatly appreciate both of those things being done by you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful viewers out there. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.